I had a dream.
I had this dream.
I had a dream.
So I had these two dreams.
I had a dream.
I had a dream last night.
So I had a dream last night.
I had a dream the other night.
I had this dream the other night. It was weird.
Last night I had this crazy dream.
I've been having like freaky dreams.
I've been having crazy dreams.
I don't know if this is just me personally, but my dreams have been very weird lately.
Last night, I had this dream.
And honestly, it was extremely vivid, and I can't stop thinking about it.
It was really vivid and weird.
Ever since this, whole quarantine stuff started, I've been having these, really fucking weird dreams. Always stuff, in my room, be in the wrong places, windows be in the wrong place. Bookshelves that aren't there.
I've been waking up twice and sometimes 3 times a night from that falling sensation and just spasming awake.
I often see dreams of playing the game corner of an old amusement park.
My dreams have gotten really intense. This is the 3rd week of being at home. I'm noticing that without the structure of the day-to-day, it feels like I'm awakening, and all my dreams are back from childhood and teenage years and things that happened more than 20 years ago.
I dream about my family a lot. I also dream about the distancing, and those are the ones that provoke nightmares.
I'm having nightmares about being trapped, which I guess seems pretty on the nose considering we're all isolated and we can't leave. But I've been having a lot of dreams that are bringing up a lot of my abuse and neglect from childhood, about being neglected and trapped.
Was in what I assume was a large stadium. There were seats and it was well lit, and I just remember I was shaking hands with everyone. We're all happy to see each other. We're all touching, patting each other on the back, shaking hands, smiling. We had just gotten together and we hadn't seen each other in years. And it didn't really matter who it was. I was just happy to see them, just shaking their hands.
I've been having strange nightmares ever since the virus began. It really started with outbreaks of zombies and stuff like that, but it's escalated to a post-apocalyptic type things, and my family is in it. I'm in it. And it's starting to scare me a lot, so I don't sleep that much.
Walking around in the city, and I'm in densely populated areas, and then halfway through I remember, I need to be inside. And it keeps happening where I'm outside, I don't know why I'm outside, and then suddenly I realize I need to be inside. Think, what's going to happen to me? Where do I need to go? How can I avoid people?
Everyone I knew was at a rally, and the virus was being discussed, and in the middle of the assembly, it was announced that Bernie Sanders had won the primary and was heading on to the election. And shortly after, the sky turned red, and it was announced that Bernie Sanders had been shot.
I see a group of people, a very large group of people, and they were carrying caskets and caskets. So many people carrying caskets, and they were making fires to burn just bodies, and
lights just went off, and they wouldn't turn back on. And then we had this random voice at 3:33, and it all happened in one night. And then we heard 3 knocks.
I was looking at the wall in my room and I saw this woman hanging her feet wasn't above the ground.
My grandma's wardrobe was covered in like strawberry skin, like the skin of a strawberry.
So I've been walking around with weird bloody eyes.
It was me and my ex-girlfriend were like these little balls of smoke circling handrails at an amusement park. And then there was this guy covered in a ton of hair, like he had a condition or something, and just every square inch of him had hair, like an inch long hair on it. And he was really smart, like a snappy talker. And I knew I didn't owe him money, but he made me feel like I owed money to him.
My really old friend from childhood, he had invited me to come over to watch a movie and hang out. So I went over, and we were having a really lovely evening watching this movie, and then all of a sudden he just started coughing. And when I asked him if he was all right, he said that, hey, just so you know, I tested positive. And so immediately I was just freaking out and basically so angry with him, being like, why did you invite me over? Like, that's so messed up of you. Like, how could you do this to me? And he just goes like, I'm sorry, but I thought you should know. But I was like, what the hell? Like, it's too late. I'm already here. Now I have it. And so I just sprinted out of the house and crying, and somehow I was near this dark black ocean, and I thought that, oh, maybe this intense like salt water would help clear out some bacteria or something. And so I jumped into the water, and I was swimming and trying to cleanse myself from this virus. And all of a sudden I just started feeling this like weird sensation around my body, and I looked closely at the water, and then it's just a bunch of dark black fish, just this huge school of like a black carp or some kind of large fish with huge scales that was just swimming all around me and surrounding my entire body and like hitting me from all angles. And this fish just kept swarming me and overtaking my body, and then I drowned in this black lagoon.
I was back at my job that I got fired from. They called me and were like, we need you to come in. And they were like, we really just need a person on today. We just need somebody. And I was like, okay. They had us dissecting eggs, like bird eggs, that were fertilized with little chick embryos in them, counting how many of them had broken off beaks, and then taking like the little birdie embryos, taking them out of that egg and putting them into this incubator thing instead that was made of some sort of fluid.
I'm in this outdoor market going to visit my grandmother, but she's not there, and nobody's there. There are no people there. There are only these like giant chickens, like 60 or so giant chickens. And these are like weirdly proportioned, mutated chickens. Their heads are super big. They're almost like prehistoric chickens you would find frozen in the Arctic from 70,000 years ago. And so I start to get kind of creeped out by all these chickens, so I hail a taxi and I get in. And the driver keeps asking me all these pointed questions. He's not really accusing me, but we're talking around it. But in the dream, I know that he's asking me if I was infected. And I keep denying, and I become more and more hysterical. And he finally turns around, and his head is a giant rear view mirror. As I'm looking at him, trying to look him in the eyes, I'm really looking at this rear view mirror at my own terrified eyes. So at some point I exit the cab. I can't remember what happens. And Joe Biden is teaching me English. And he keeps making these poop jokes, and everyone keeps laughing really hard. And that kind of bugs me, because they're really cheap poop jokes. They're not, high-class poop jokes. And so I look outside, and I see the squirrel, and I've been playing with this big plastic ball, and I throw the ball at the squirrel, and the squirrel jumps on the ball and starts walking on the ball and using the ball as like a transport mechanism and just disappears into the horizon with my ball. And I'm like, that's cool, but it's my ball, you know?
I wondered if it was all just a dream, which I then woke up from.
And then I woke up.
That's when I woke up.
I wake up.
And then, I woke up.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.